Let me quickly change the title. Hellraiser. Update this, and there we go. Overlay gone. Q-Power, what's up, buddy? How are you doing? Alright, so... Ooh, that's not right. That is the one I wanted to do. Sort of in the bottom right corner, he is the red Zerg player. 1 score ahead right now, I do believe. If I do have to believe that, you know, if he says 1-0, that he is referring to himself. So it is the red Zerg player. His name is SortOf. His opponent, in the top left corner, we see a blue Protoss. On the Protoss map, Thunderbird. Hopefully he's gonna do well, represent the Protoss race here properly. If you know what, if he does get this game, we're definitely gonna have another game after this. So that would be wonderful. His name is Hellraiser. Gonna reach it. It's 20 more minutes. It's 20 more minutes and we will have reached 10 hours solid streaming, guys. It has been a pleasure up until now anyway. Q is rooting for Team Zerg. SortOf, we saw this amazing game with SortOf Q. You gotta watch it. Honestly, like, it was absolutely mind-boggling there. People talking about their pings. Guys, please. Belair not enjoying the commentary from his co-casters here. I think it was against Estrella. Estrella, was it? Am I pronouncing that right? I think so. I hope so. I would be embarrassed if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. But then again, it's been a long ass day, so who knows? Who knows? Sort of only doing the 2 guys on the gas, going for a very quick early third. A very quick and early third. Put the 2 together and that's what you have. An extremely early third. Stargate once more. Wow, we're seeing the Stargate opening a lot today. This has been an insane amount of Stargate opening for Protoss vs Zerg. I think Estrella has been the one person that really hasn't committed to the starport that much. But even he made a build where he started off with the starport, so... Who knows? Who knows what is going to happen? Hitting that Zergling there. He's gonna get the other one. He's just going, of course he is. Of course he is. Hellraiser, professional. Of course he's gonna get that other Zergling too. He knows what he's doing. Stalker could be going off after that Overlord there, and actually that might be in time to deny the Overlord from a proper scout here. At the same time doing some damage in the Zerg base. Switching to shade again to the main over here. Be very quick on making the Spore Crawler that before the drone does go down, and alright, there we go. No significant losses, and let us take a look at the vision of SortOf. I don't believe he saw this. Oh my god, look at how close that is. That is... Yeah, that's not that far. Tricky here as well. Tricky Zerg, welcome buddy. Glad to have you with me. Also cheering for Team Zerg. You can just say SortOf as well. But guys, if you think about this right, if Hellraiser wins, we're gonna have another game. If SortOf wins, it's just gonna be over, right? It's just gonna be the end of this best of 3 series already, straight here. And then we're gonna really have to cross our fingers to get another game going. Because I'm not sure how many people are still playing. I feel like we are getting to the end of today, and I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I don't think I am. Let us take a look. Overlord coming in once again. I'm not sure. Alright, there we go. Scouting, actually immediately scouting these 4 gateways being put down. So he's going to be aware of this 2 base aggression coming in with 2 oracles. Did he actually see the robotics facility as well? It's being put over here. So yeah, he's going to see that as well. Completely aware of what is coming his way. SortOf is going to be capable of completely just making the counter for this right now. The 2 oracles as well. Let me double check. Actually, only 2 workers have gone down so far. And I feel like that was mostly due to the adepts. These oracles not really having done anything so far. As I say, they kill one drone, but that's only one drone. That's not significant damage at all. Roach is being created as well. Gonna be a great counter to that big, massive gateway army. And so far, it's just a warp prism and a observer being created actually from the robotics facility. So I was expecting a little bit more of a chrono onto Immortals over here, but instead we are getting a warp prism and a Twilight Council as well, also still being put down. I'm wondering what he's gonna plan to do with this. Probably it's gonna be charge, right? It must be charge. Feels a little bit awkward here, in my opinion, just because... well, first of all, it is quite delayed. Alright, there it is, charge coming down. Wait, am I just going crazy? I thought those were 4 gate... Did he cancelled? He cancelled gateways here, right? Did he? Didn't he? I think so, I think he did. I'm gonna go with my instinct. So he cancelled those gateways. If not, then you know what, you can disregard anything I'm saying at this point, probably. And instead is going for a little bit more of a macro build and sort of scouting around once more, making sure what is going on, and he sees that it is actually transitioning into a bit of a macro build. Getting the Templar archives already scouted, getting the Twilight Council upgrading, gateways on the way as well. Hellraiser probably just wanted to confuse, sort of, maybe if he did move out with that force, with the Warp Prism as well, it might put Hell sort of into the position where he feels like he needs to start committing a lot of his larvae into producing army units, instead of actually producing any type of economic type of units, right? Or just need to kill that probe, there we go, getting into the main base. Might be able to do a little bit of damage here. This is target down the probes though, there we go, okay. Microing back very nicely, one-shotting the probes here. Alright, getting a couple, that's at least 5 or 6 already going down. The Zerglings did get cleaned up. Nice warp in there from Hellraiser. The... where are the... okay, there is the War Prism. The Oracles are over here as well. Look at that energy on the Oracles. You might be able to do a little bit more with those, honestly. You might be able to get a little bit more value out there. Putting the status wards down in his own base. I'm not completely sure what he scouted, but that makes him think that he should put that put those down. He did see the 4th base being created, so who knows? Who knows? Hellraiser also had a really long day here, guys, so we can never know for sure. 4th base on the way. Painting speed on the way, Ravages, +1 melee attack as well. What other type of technology are we seeing? We do have the Infestation Pit available as well. There, here it is. The Hive Tech on the way and the Spire. Would have loved to see sort of go into the Lurker technology again as well. Unfortunately, though, he's not committing to it. Because, you know what, the previous time we saw sort of go for the lurk attack on this map, it was an absolutely insane game. It took about 15 minutes, and I'm glad I was there for casting that, honestly. That was a real pleasure. Okay. Seeing the watchtowers over here is sort of getting a little bit more vision. Actually, does he have vision of that Warp Prism? Alright, he does. So he might be aware right now. He's actually moving his Ravagers over. And that Warp Prism is most likely going to be taken down. I don't think Hellraiser even remembered that he had his Warp Prism here. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. Very unfortunate, but he does lose that right there. Was not aware anymore. Making a fleet beacon and also adding 2 more Stargates. So up to 3 Stargates in total. Gonna be producing Tempest very heavily here. Already getting ready for that Broodlord technology. I'm sure that he saw... Actually, he didn't. Well, he must be... He must know, right, that there's... Right, now he sees the Hive Tag. Is he gonna see the Greatest Fire as well? He's not really scouting with these guys, but I guess that's because he's busy with this big attack coming in from the Zerg. A lot of Banelings actually not... I'm not sure. Getting maybe a little bit worried because of the status wards, but that's still a lot of Banelings. I feel like if he just committed to that, he might have been able to get on top of all of those High Templar And that would have been absolutely devastating for Hellraiser. Hellraiser needs to watch out for these banelings, actually. These banelings. Okay, there we go. Completely aware. Perfectly fine. Handled it very well. Okay, carriers actually being created instead of the Tempest, as I thought it would be. Carriers not as commonly used right now as normally, as we saw before. The nerf, of course. But there they are. More carriers on the way. I mean, they're still pretty good units, right? But I feel like they might be better if you come at the opponent with a bit of a surprise. Like, ooh, suddenly I have 9 carriers. And the opponent doesn't really have any anti-air. At that point, I feel like it could be very useful. But, oh my god, that's very unfortunate. Zerglings coming into the main base, going to scout all of this. He's going to see the silhouette of the carriers. He's also going to see these other carriers. So he's completely aware of what is going on right now. And we can see, very soon, we will see probably more Corruptors on the production tab there for the Zerg player. Actually feeling so comfortable. Adding more drones to the production queue. Things are looking a little bit dicey here for Hellraiser. After that perfect scout of his army. More... Oh, that's a big engagement here. A lot of banelings. I'm not sure if you should engage with those banelings, of course. Okay. Sort of doing it very well. Ooh, Zealots coming out of nowhere there. Not sure where that came from. Oh my god, Hellraiser. Probes. Alright, that's only 10 probes, though at the same time we have another engagement over here. Doesn't seem to be the biggest one. This base has to be cancelled. More banelings rolling in through here, 4 more probes going down. And those broodlords, they are going to be a pain to deal with. Up until those carriers are in more than significant numbers. Where did the other carriers go? Alright, here's more carriers. Also, 2 more Stargates, even more Stargates being made by Hellraiser. Hellraiser just purely going for straight up only carriers. We're gonna have to see what sort of his response is to this, really. Right? How many Corruptors does he have? He has 12 Corruptors. No Infestors at all. Infestors would also obviously be a great unit and maybe have a couple of Vipers. And let me check the tab again. He doesn't have any Vipers available to him, so it's still a little bit of a you know what, it's gonna be a little bit difficult. But maybe, you know what, he's gonna try to trade out these Roaches and Zerglings, and so he can replace those with more useful units against these carriers, hopefully. So, for example, the Infestors and more Corruptors. Of course, he doesn't just want to give them away, he wants to trade them for at least a little bit of maybe economic damage or some sort of army trade here and there. Alright, some Zealots poking away at this hatchery. Should be cleaned up rather nicely. The parade of queens is coming over here. The conga line of queens. Hello! Alright, well cleaned up. At the same time, some more Zealots coming in on this other side, but there is more than enough Zerglings actually to deal with this. Sort of going up to even more workers here, actually. Going up to 90 workers. Or close to 90 workers. That is a lot of workers. And, oh my god, that is a lot of mortars as well. He needs to be very careful. Sort of needs to have his broodlords here, but that base is gone. That's a very nice sniper, very quickly. Very precise. Almost like a sniper kind of coming in there. And taking care of business. Leaving 4 immortals here, actually. Might be going to trade those immortals later on and re-snipe this base as soon as some time is, you know, passed. Very smart move by Hellraiser, I'm gonna say. Alright, let's take a look again. Oh, 12 Corruptors are out now, and 10 Infestors. So already getting more to that anti-carrier composition. The Viper being created as well. It's a bit of a tricky situation. Okay, ooh, that takes care of all of those High Templar actually. Even neural parasiting some of the units here and forcing them into their death. Mind control from the priest, but then no, it's so much more difficult to control. It's not that difficult to control, honestly, but still, you know what, neural parasite, it's It's nothing to be scoffed at, right? Great neural parasites are incredibly difficult sometimes to pull off. I guess nothing too much was going on in that situation anyway, but oh well. 1 second. Okay, I'm sorry. I am back. That was actually 1 second. Another hatchery going up in the... Well, that's the 1 o'clock location. Sort of learning from Estrella. Realizing that, you know what, these games can go very long. And if they go very long, you need to have those bases mined out a little bit before your opponents get the chance to do predatory. Ensuring that pylon doesn't go down. Good effort by Sort of. More zealots walking around the map. This base got cancelled again, by the way, by those immortals. I think I missed it, but because it is being recreated right now again, like we have to assume that those immortals did come in here and did wreck that base once more. Look at this army. Oh my god. Oh my god. 20 carriers. That is a lot of carriers, guys. You need a lot of infestors to neural those carriers, or else you are in a heck of a lot of herds. He sees this massive amount of carriers coming across. 20 carriers in total. What is the plan here for SortOf? He needs to figure it out at the same time. He is counter-attacking with a couple of Zerglings, but it doesn't seem like he's doing a heck of a lot of damage there. Bungling all the interceptors actually, and forcing a recall there. You know what? The base got killed, and he gets out. So I'm gonna say that is really well done by Hellraiser. Not losing anything there, really. Still on 20 carriers, getting his mothership out here as well now. And there we go. Hellraiser taking... Look at how close these bases are. If we zoom out, yeah, we can see both these bases at the same time. That's kind of funny. It's a yin and yang situation here. But I feel like as soon as Sort of is aware... Oh, he's already aware of that. Alright, so he should be moving out against this. There we go. Corruptors trying to get a glimpse of where the carriers are moving around on the map. But the carriers are on the opposite side. Sort of trying to figure it out. Okay, using his spitting on a building ability. There we go. Is going to be able to get rid of this Nexus. A reasonable trade-off there. Also going to be able to take care of this. But at the same time, we see a huge infested carrier fight here. That's a lot. Big fungal. I don't think recall is ready yet. And that's a lot of infested Terran ready to shoot down the air right here. You need to keep in mind that that is still a lot of other carriers. But it seems like using up all that infested energy. Actually, wow, Hellraiser calling out to GG. That was quite quick. I'm not sure if that was completely... Maybe he's just tired. He did lose quite a lot of carriers there. If we do look, yeah, alright, we'll give him that. Oh, another game. Done. Out the window. Let's take a look